Good morning. Good morning. There we go. Last show of the year, 2021, on its butt. But it's not over. So yeah, good morning. Welcome. And thanks for joining us live for this last show of the year. This is episode 40. So this year, because we're going live just once a week, we have been able to do 40 episodes. And that is absolutely amazing. I think, the consistency, the quality, all of that is really, the consistency stayed there and the quality went up, I hope. That was the whole plan. And really looking forward to next year. So there will definitely be a season 3, which I will share with you. And we'll see. So I see we have a problem streaming to LinkedIn for some reason. But this is definitely on their end. But if that is the case, then so be it. All right. So, that's today is really, we've got David back with the news from the FBI one more time. We have Norma talking about guilt-free rest, which I think so many of us actually battle with. Like the moment, you're working, you feel like you want to be resting. And when you rest, you think, I have to do all this other stuff. So keen to hear what she has to share this morning. And then also going to talk a little bit about the Write a Book in a Day challenge that happens today, which I'm very excited about. Obviously, it's been a long time coming, the entire year, as a matter of fact. So that's happening today. And then I'm going to sort of look back at season 2. We're going to touch on a few things there. Definitely going to do some live pop-ins today. So that's the great thing. So today, if you have anything that you would like to share, anything that you would like to sort of maybe a highlight for you from the year, sort of get those thoughts ready. I'm going to share a link that you can use in order to join us live in the show today. So I will bring you onto the screen and have a quick chat with you. So please, if you want to do that, I will share the link in a moment. So with that, and then also got to talk about season 3, and then I also have some thank yous to do. Alrighty, so with that was a very long intro, not what I really usually do. David, I hope you're ready, because here we go, the last news segment for 2021.
Welcome everyone to the last news for 2021 on PROpulsion Pro Live. And today's news headlines, we're going to be looking at festive season spending, the petrol price, unemployment, and we'll end off with some roosters. So as reported on MoneyWeb, consumers say they are in a better financial position compared with 2020 and are planning to spend more over this period. This year's festive spending is expected to increase by 20% compared with the previous year, despite the household food basket contractions on the back of high food prices. Based on Statistics SA's mid-year population size estimates, this means that consumers are set to pump 252 billion into the local economy. So this is according to the summer spending survey conducted by short-term lender Wonga. The survey reveals that consumers are budgeting to spend an average of 6,226 Rand over their usual monthly expenses. Now, well, in my opinion, this might be good for the economy. It may be disastrous on an individual level. So definitely not to be the Grinch, but to have that conversation. If the spending is planned on credit, it's going to lead to short-term relief for longer-term headaches. And amid the 75 cents a litre increase on the petrol price, businesstech.co.za has reported that the civil society group Outer has written to the finance minister calling for a halt to the annual increase on fuel levies. The levy increases are announced in February every year that come into effect on the 1st of April. So Wayne Duvenhagen, the chief executive, said, while we understand that we are a cash-strapped nation, we can no longer afford to burden society with higher taxes and levies. We have witnessed a substantial increase in the price of petrol and diesel as a result of the ongoing above-inflation increases to the basket of 12 other levies and charges that have been collectively increased over 125% over the past decade. So the result of the compounding effect says that there's more than 10 Rand a litre of petrol that goes into levies before the basic fuel price is added. So let's hope Outer gets that right. Statistics SA has published the quarterly labour force survey for quarter 3 2021, showing how continued lockdown restrictions and load shedding and the July riots have impacted on the country. The number of employed people have decreased by 660,000 in the third quarter, while the number of unemployed decreased by 183,000 from the second quarter. So again, unfortunately, unemployment has gone up. So the official unemployment statistic has gone up to 34.9%. And if we include the expanded definition, which is people who have given up on looking for work, it is gone up to 46.6%. So definitely economic recovery is a big focus so that we can reverse these unemployment figures. Then, while roosters might wake us up at the crack of dawn, they don't actually hear themselves. So considering that a rooster's call can reach 140 decibels or louder, it might lead to one to wonder how the rooster keeps itself from going deaf when the noise is coming right out of its beak. It turns out the farm fowl has built-in earplugs. Researchers found that when a rooster opens its beak to crow, its external auditory canals close off, preventing it from doing any damage. So, I don't know what prompted someone to research that, but roosters can't hear themselves waking us up in the morning. So again, thank you very much, and looking forward to the Writing the Book Day challenge. Francois, after this, back to you.
Awesomeness, David. Thank you very much. And that's interesting. I think there's some people that wish they had built-in earplugs.
Selective hearing.
For some maybe do, I can tell you a funny story about my grandpa, but there's no time today. But remind me that I'll tell you that story. Maybe when we get together now before the Writing a Book, I'll quickly share that with you. Cool stuff, David. Thank you so much. Thank you for a fantastic year. I really appreciate it. Looking forward to continue this next year. So, I'll see you in about an hour or so at the Writing Book in a Day. But thanks a lot.
Pleasure. See you then. Thank you.
Cheers. Alrighty, so then obviously next up we have Norma, and Norma today talks about guilt-free rest, as I mentioned earlier. So Norma, over to you.
Morning. My topic for today is guilt-free rest, and I thought it would be a relevant topic seeing that we're going into the festive season, and hopefully everyone and all of you are taking a break, a well-deserved break. And I just think that with us all being so connected, and it seems like everyone is on call 24/7 to everyone around us, we have to be conscious about the amount of time that we spend working and make sure that we get proper rest. And we have to sort of make it a non-negotiable that we need to take time out during the day, and not even just, on a regular basis take time out, but taking time out during the day to sort of recharge as well. So why do we need rest? And let me remind you why we need to rest, because it heals our body. And it really just promotes our mental health and our well-being. And it also boosts our creativity. It increases productivity, and then it also improves our mood. And then, coming from there, it will obviously also improves our relationships. And then it reduces stress. So I think it depends on each individual how many or how much rest you need in a day. And it depends obviously on things like health, and maybe also looking at stress and the amount of quality sleep that you actually get on, during the night, how much rest you need. So I'd like to sort of look at a rest in two categories. So the one is the one that we do guilt-free, and the other one, it doesn't feel good. So let's look at the guilt-free one first. So that is normally time that I see where people plan their rest. So they've produced what they wanted, they've created, they've got the result that they want, and then they take the rest. And then it's a very enjoyable rest, and it's guilt-free, and it feels good. And on the other side, we take rests when it's unplanned, firstly, and then secondly, we haven't produced what we said we wanted to do. So then we take the rest, but we beat ourselves up, and we feel guilty because we think we should be doing something else while we're resting. So there's a couple of things that I think is just like a mental sort of time wasters that keeps us from producing on the one side and then leading us to take that well-deserved rest. So a couple of those time wasters are when we don't feel like doing something. So we think it's a valid reason for us then not to do it. So we don't even try and negotiate with our brain. We just get up and go do something else. Another one is if we worry. That worry always pretends to be very necessary, and we also feel very responsible when we worry sometimes, and that's obviously just not serving us. Another one is when we're in indecision, so we're actually just denying to take action, so we feel stuck and then we don't take action. Another one is if we are confused, so we tell ourselves, I don't know how to do this, or I haven't done this before. And we don't actually just make a decision and move forward. Because if we do that, then we'll obviously find out if it's the right decision or not. Another one is just when we judge ourselves, that always seems and feels very important to us. It feels like we need to do it, but it's not serving us in any way. We have regret, so we use our past to cost us our present. And that's also, there's no upside to that. And then just lastly, overwhelm. So that never leads to action, but it always leads to inaction. So those are just normal time wasters that keeps us from producing, creating, and getting the result we want. And then if we don't create the result, we don't actually get, to get that that guilt-free rest, and which is enjoyable, which we feel we deserve. So on that note, I want to wish all of you a great December break. And if you celebrate, enjoy that. And if you don't, just enjoy the time with family and friends. And I also want to take the opportunity to thank all of the listeners and for all your kind words when I get the chance to meet you and speak to you, and for encouragement and your support. And then Francois as well, enjoy your time away, and I'm sure that you'll enjoy. And thanks for the show, and thanks for that you made me part of it.
Massive pleasure, Norma. Thank you. I know there's a lot of prep that goes into this. I don't think people realize, sort of, even if it's a 5-minute segment, it's not something that takes just 5 minutes to prep for. So thanks for all of that. And have a good one. And hopefully you'll pop into the Write a Book in a Day challenge, at least during the morning. So looking forward to just maybe see you in the comments saying hi and cheering people on and things like that. Cool beans, but thank you so much. And then we'll chat soon. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thanks, Norma. Bye-bye. Yeah, I feel more at home today because I've got my setup here, even though it's makeshift. So I've got all my screens and all my other tech and everything is happening. So things are going well so far. But anyway, yeah, so just quickly then some announcements. I see there's already a couple of people that has joined the studio here at the bottom. So I will explain how that is going to work in a moment. But thanks for joining so long. So first off, the Write a Book in a Day challenge, that takes place. We start today at 9 a.m. And I really want to ask you to come and join us live during the day. You don't have to stay there for the whole 6 hours, but you can pop in and out. We are interviewing some phenomenal guests, people that have written books. We also talk about the impact of that, what the process was. Because for me, the amazing thing is that whenever somebody writes a book for the first time, they've never been an author before. But all of them have took that first step in order to do that. And hopefully that is what today's Write a Book in a Day challenge is going to be about, is to sort of get that spark going. Because I think every single one of the 14 authors that's writing today has had this, what is the right word? They wanted to write a book. There's a couple of them that have written books before, but the far majority has never written a book before. And hopefully this is the spark to sort of get you to go and write that book that you always wanted to. So please come and support us, sort of just in the chats and so forth. We're only live streaming to YouTube, so not to LinkedIn or Facebook or anything. We're just doing it with YouTube today. But from that point, please come and support us. So that's the Write a Book in a Day challenge, just so you know what it's about. So we are setting out to write a book for the financial planning profession. And it's aimed to help both new and existing financial planners raise the bar in their life and their business, and obviously the advice and everything that we give to clients. So that's really the purpose of the book. So really excited. There's 13 chapters, I think, in the book. So yeah, it's some interesting stuff, and really looking forward to see what comes out of it. Then this is obviously today the last show for season 2. We will be back on the 4th of February. So when is that? Let me just check. That is a Friday. So the 4th of Feb is when season 3 will kick off. And I look forward to a revamped, new format, better format, you know, even more guests, because we're setting out on doing that panel discussion. So we're really looking at expanding the value and just making things even better than what it is now. And I believe, you know, like every year you have to progress, you have to become better. I have no clue yet what that's going to look like, to be quite honest with you. So hopefully I can get my thinking cap on in December and also, you know, talk to a few people. But I would really, really appreciate it if you in the audience can let me know in any way, means or form, it doesn't matter, just maybe ideas that you have. And then also really looking for suggestions for guests for season 3. We have got a long list. I think there's about 20 people on the list, but if you have any guests that you would love to see on the show, please let me know. You can WhatsApp me, you can email me. I don't think it's too hard to find a way to contact me. And I'm in contact with most of you. So please, if you can do that, that'll really be a great help so we can build the show around what it is that you are looking for and what you need. So yeah, then cool. Then last thing is for you to join us live here in the studio to sort of share your thoughts on season 2 and maybe some highlights from season 2. Anything else, you know, just remember it's a family show, right? Not like my sister-in-law who started using some very strong words on her episode, but you always have that. So, but yeah, so just from that point, please, like, I'm just going to put you on the screen, ask you just like, you know, what do you want to say? And that's sort of that. So then maybe we'll have a quick back and forth and that will be that. So it won't be long, but really looking forward to chatting to some of you in a few seconds. I can see there's a couple in the studio already. So just that, I'm sorry, I'm just looking here for, where did I put that? Here we go. So let me just maybe take off the ticker and then just display it on the screen for you. So the website address, you can just type into your phone or on your laptop or whatever is easy, propulsion.co.za/pop-in. It'll take you straight to the studio. You can put your name in there and then just join. Just make sure you give access to your mic and your camera. And yeah, and even if you don't want to be on camera, you just want to speak, that's fine. The system can do that as well. Just don't activate your webcam. Whew, I'm battling for my English this morning. But anyway, so that is it, propulsion.co.za/pop-in, and you can join us in the studio. All right, so that's all the announcements, and then let's head on over and let's have a look back at season 2. Great stuff. Alrighty, so let me see if I can get through this. You know, like these days, or days like this is always like a little bit emotional usually, but let me see how far we get with that. Alrighty, so when we started season 2, right, it was quite an interesting one, because last year when we started Virtual Coffee with Francois, and today in memory of that, we've got some real coffee for a change. But I used to have this, started off as Virtual Coffee with Francois, went live every single day, and it just started evolving from there, you know, sort of started getting introduced to guests. So many of you have been very kind to do that. And we've had some great local and international guests on the show, sort of started growing from there. But it was always me talking or me, you know, interviewing a guest. And obviously through that sort of learned, you know, what works, what doesn't work, and still got lots to learn, not there yet. But it's, I don't think I'll ever be there, but you learn as you go along. And that for me is, I think, the most amazing thing from the show, from my perspective. So it's just like you get to do all these little things every single day. And before you know it, it becomes almost a habit. It becomes automatic. It's just easy to do. And, I don't get nervous even anymore before. So the funny thing is I'm nervous for the Write the Book in a Day challenge. I don't know. Maybe it's because it's 6 hours long. I'm worried. There's lots of moving parts today. But anyway, so, I just think that this has sort of become my thing, to be honest. So I really enjoy this. I've said this many times. If I could do just this for a living, it's exactly what I would be doing. Because just, the way I can have an impact, the way that I can spread a message, the way that I can engage, the way I can meet people. Because for me, I'm always the guy standing in the corner at the conference for some reason. Not because people don't want to talk to me, but it's because I would rather talk to my coffee apparently than to real people. So that's a tough one. But yeah, so that is sort of, I think, the main thing that sort of came out of this for me. And then when we ended off last year, it was like sort of an anticlimax. And I was thinking, like, what do we do with season 2? I don't know. And I then took sort of a little bit of a page out of the Next Gen Planners Morning Commute, their breakfast show, which we happened to have started at the same time actually last year. And but they had a little bit of a different format, and they use Zoom to do it, and they have all these, sort of a meeting setup, etc. So people interact and that kind of stuff. So I took a little bit of a page out of that, and I thought, okay, let's create segments and get other people involved as well, just to break it up, so that it's not just me talking all the time. And this is also maybe something that's an idea for you in your practice. How can you get other people involved to make things interesting and to give a different experience, etc. So just leaving it there. But that's what I basically did, and we came up with a new segment, the personal development section, which was and still is fixed segments. So they were the same. Then I had the main sort of section, and then after that would be another segment, which would be that would evolve or change every single week. It was different every week. And for me now, that sort of stopped somewhere during the year, so I didn't continue with that. But we still have the news, personal development, and then featured section or featured guest. And that's the format that I want to look at next year. Definitely going to keep what we've got in terms of the news and personal development and the main thing. But I definitely need to bring on a couple of other things, and then also restructure maybe the way I present stuff, and then also, sort of what we do with guests and panels and all those kind of things. And also think about, because one big dream that I've always had for this is to make it, like once a quarter, have a live broadcast from a venue where we can have a live audience there that just comes and, we have a breakfast afterwards or something like that. But we broadcast live from there so that people that can't be there can watch. But we also have a live audience, which would be absolutely amazing. So that's part of the thinking. But as I said, quite keen to hear what you have to say. Right, so just before I bring on the first guest in the studio, I've got, I just want to quickly say, so when we started the year, our very first guest, if I remember correctly, was, I must actually go back here and just make sure, but the very, very first one was Brian Jarvis from AdWiser. Now, I don't know if you remember that. AdWiser is sort of a rating system for financial planners. It's quite a nifty new solution, and but Brian was our very first guest with a new format and everything. So a lot of cutting teeth in that first episode, but that was also an amazing episode. So yeah, and I'll go through just some of the highlights for me from the shows as we move along. All right, but first, so I see I lost 2 people that was in here. So come back, Terence. But I've got Razan here. So Razan, if you're ready, I'm going to bring you onto the screen as well. And good morning.
Good morning, and good morning, everybody.
Awesome. Welcome. And thanks for having the guts to come on and do this. You were one of the regular segments. So you always talk about branding and marketing, when we did those rolling segments. So thank you for that. And but yeah, Razan, I mean, over to you. Like, what's on your heart?
No, Francois, I think, and it's probably the same for everybody. Just thank you very much. Season 1, Terence, if it wasn't for you, thank you. So do come back and say how was that very first episode. And Francois, I just want to congratulate you on an incredible season 2. It was stronger. The format was really, really amazing. The diversity in the type of guests you brought on, I think the the quality of topics and content we tackled was really, really good. And most of all, I think in season 2, one of the highlights was really seeing the community pulling together, finding our feet, and truly propelling forward. I mean, the highlights of just the challenges that came in, the speaker influencer program, all of that. It's amazing value that you brought to the community, and I would just say a huge congratulations and thank you. And I'm really looking forward to the next season.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think, as we learn, but thanks for all of that, Rizan. I really, really appreciate it. I mean, you, behind the scenes, you're a big part of this as well. So we talk a lot and share ideas and things, and often when we had a fantastic episode because it was some amazing topic, or it was just an amazing discussion, whatever it was, you're usually one of the first to say, oh, that was amazing, so thank you for your continuous support and all of that as well, and just the input. I think you're also a speaking, like living, walking the talk, example of, you don't just, you just jump in and you offer value and you share and you, and I think that embodies everything that we're trying to do around the show, and also in PROpulsion Pro is exactly that. It's this whole community, so that we can really be there for each other and help one another. So to you also, thank you very much, and thank you for jumping on. I really, really appreciate it.
Pleasure.
Cool beans. All right. So yeah, there goes my dog. So now I first need to switch mics here. So if you can give me 1 second. So let me just see if I can. All right. Cool. So I'm sorry for that. Let me just do this. There we go. So hopefully that sounds better. All right, so so let me continue, but thank you very much, Rizan, for popping in. I hope if there's anybody else that wants to pop in. Terence was here. I see Karen, you also in here, but your devices are not connected, so just make sure you allow your camera and your mic, at least your mic, which is very important. But if you do want to pop in and say hi, I know Kobus has said some things in the comments, which I'll share with you now, but let me just see where this is now. There we go. So you can just go propulsion.co.za/pop-in, and even in the description down below the YouTube live stream, there's also, you can just click the link there. I forgot about that. I put it there as well. All right, so with that, let me quickly go to the comments. So Kobus is obviously working from anywhere, really living the life, living my dream at this stage. But yeah, but what he has done, he has given some of his feedback here, and he's saying the news clip from the FBI and the team is always top class and informative with something interesting at the end. Yes, I really love that useless fact at the end that David started with. It's really amazing. I'm still baffled by the one that he used early on when he started this, that, I think it's one of the, I don't know if it was the king or something in a deck of cards that don't have a mustache, someone there, but that was quite interesting. It's still the one that stands out for me. And then there was also the one about Argengrau or something. That's the black you see when everything's very dark. So those were the two standout ones for me, and I'm very amazed that still in my mind. But anyway, so thank you very much there, Kobus. And then he also goes on to say, Norma adds huge value to keep our minds strong every week with huge words of wisdom and bring calmness to the show. Thanks, Team PROpulsion, for making a weekly difference. I will miss you for now. Yeah, thank you very much, Kobus. And also to everybody that attended the breakfast yesterday. That was really amazing, getting all the PROpulsion Pro members. Not all of them, but we were a good group that got together. So happiness. Right. With that, so let me continue. Just looking back at season 2 quickly, I think some of the episodes that really stands out for me is also the one that we had with Tanya Kunze again, which was episode 4. We talked about the art of failing forward. So that was always a good discussion. Last year as well, in season 1, we also had an amazing discussion with her with, talking about a positive mindset. So Tanya is obviously a prolific speaker and just amazing at what she does. But that was definitely an outstanding one for me. And then one which was really great for me to meet this guy. It was somebody from Hawaii. which was Stephen Kagawa, which Kobus introduced me to, and he's from Aloha Financial Services, if I remember, Aloha something. But he was an amazing discussion with him live from the US, and so that was episode 6. I really enjoyed that one. I know, shame it was. I think it was late in the night, or it was very late in the night for him, and he still did that. So that was amazing. And then something else that is always great for me now. I laughed at this one because this was my first. Because part of what I'm trying to do as well is to broadcast from weird and wonderful places every now and then. It's not ideal because I can't take all my gear with, and I don't have my setup, and everything is sort of cockeye. But it's something that I try and do, and part of the thing was I was going to go and broadcast from the UK next year somewhere with Adam and them. But my problem is now lockdown and fourth waves and all sorts of stuff like that. So, but be that as it may, that's fine. What I did want to share with you is that in this episode, this was my first one that I did. This is when I was in Nepal, in Cape Town, or in the Western Cape rather, not in Cape Town, but in Nepal. Broadcasted live, and I thought everything was going absolutely fantastic. And my guest was David Anzara, and David and I had such a fantastic discussion that day. Because David is from the Center for Risk Analysis, and he always talks about politics and impacts on things and like stuff I don't read up on. That hence we've got David, but it was an amazing discussion. And then afterwards we realized that David's awesome proper mic was not the one that he was using. So I don't know, there was issues on my side, there was a bit of issues on his side, but that was the first offside one. But David, you were still amazing in episode 7, so definitely something that is still very relevant today, because we were talking about South Africa on the road to recovery. So that was a big highlight. And then in episode 9 I shared some free technology tools for financial advisors. And there's some other stuff I'm going to do early next year around technology as well. Look, I mean, the big problem with technology is that you do content on that and it gets outdated sometimes very, very quickly. And to keep that up to date is hard, whereas most of the other things we do is evergreen. It will always be relevant. It will always make sense. It will stay relevant for a very long time. So we try and do more of that, but the technology stuff is always hugely popular. So definitely going to do that. But episode 9 was the free tools for financial advisors. Then Hugo van Zyl was back 2 times this year. So talking about, obviously, immigration was a big topic this year. And now I don't know if you know this, but it seems like they were retracted. I don't know if I'm correct. If I saw correctly, I've still been trying to sort of read up on it. But they retracted the whole thing around the retirement funds that triggers tax, and that you have to be out of the country for 3 years, or you've immigrated for 3 years, being non-resident for 3 years, that kind of stuff. So I'm not 100% sure if I'm correct, just to be quite clear. But I'm pretty sure I saw something from the Tax Institute saying that part is not in the amendment bill that's been published. So or promulgated. So I need to go and have a look at that. But Hifu is our resident tax immigration specialist that I get on the show every now and then as we need. He is absolutely amazing. So so that was also good. Then I had a couple of ladies on the show that was just phenomenal for me. We had Kim Potgieter. So Kim Potgieter was on with episode 15. It was great to hear her story, and then we talked about her book, Midlife Money Makeover. So that was great. And then somebody I'm actually going to interview both of them this morning during the Write a Book in a Day challenge. But Juanita Foster, man, what a lively woman! If you can watch that episode again as well. That was episode 17 where we spoke about staying in the helicopter. Absolutely amazing. So as I said, I'm going to interview her as well this morning at Write a Book in a Day. But please go and check that. And then I think one of my better episodes, which was it wasn't an emotional one, but it was a very personal one for me. And that was actually episode 16, where I spoke about, slow down to go faster. It is such an important thing. I preach it to everyone. I battle with it. But it is such an important principle to slow down in order to go faster. So if you really want to go see, like myself in my element, talking for something that means to me, like personally, a lot, Not that that should necessarily matter to you, but then slow down to go faster was also an episode that was a highlight for me. Then also we spoke about which system is the best. This was another one that I did from, I think I was in, where was I? I was in Cape Town, but I can't remember now where I was, Franschhoek or somewhere. And we did a broadcast from there, from Boschendal, and spoke about which system is best for your financial planning practice. So that was a good one because we didn't go into, X-Plan's the best, AdWorks the best, Elite Wealth is the best, whatever is the best. That's not what we did. I gave solid principles and a framework, how you can go about determining which system is best for you and your business. So that's also a very valuable one, which is episode 19, if I'm not mistaken. Right, so I'm not seeing anyone coming into the studio. I would really like to have people come and say hi live. That'll be absolutely great. So the link is down in the description on YouTube. So please go and click there and then join us live here in the studio. And just for a couple of minutes, just say something if you would like. And so let's see. Right, then, and I'm always done with going through the year. Online marketing for financial professionals. The thumbnail was Marketing on the Line, which was a play on The Internship, which is a movie with Vince Vaughn and what was Owen, I want to say Adam Owen, his name escapes me now. But anyway, so that was a fantastic movie, and because they were these two guys that were not like with technology, and they get this internship at Google, and then instead of saying online marketing, Vince Vaughn kept on saying like marketing on the line. But anyway, so it was a play on that, but it was quite great. We had a fantastic Women's Month celebration, and I think if you look at the guests that we had during the year, we've had like all sorts of guests from all over, a good mix between men and women, from local and international. So we have all of these guests, and I think that was great. But August, I only interview women, and that was absolutely amazing. Again, this year, we really had strong people. The ladies from the FBI had them, had my sister-in-law. There was quite a few. We had the young ladies, remember, from Chartered Wealth. Wow, they were absolutely amazing. And in fact, they went on after that to go and speak about the same kind of stuff, but a little bit more detail at the FBI convention, which is absolutely astounding and amazing for me. Then, I spoke about 5 hard questions to ask, which was, I think, very, very prominent. And then also spoke about 21 things you can do in your business, and then gave 5 new things that you can do in your business. So if you just go and look at what we've just done this year, ignoring the other 120 episodes from last year, then there is so much content here, so much value, and I really go back and watch them. Just choose a random topic, or go through them and say, well, you know what, I'm battling with my online marketing, or I'm battling with my value proposition, or because we've covered every single thing. Technology, there are so many episodes on technology. So go and check that out. And, just as you have time, just watch one episode. You don't have to do it every day, but go back and watch those episodes. They are still very, very relevant and up to date. I can promise you that. So, that is sort of just that. So let me just quickly see in the comments. I've still got a couple of other things I quickly want to do. So David said, looking forward. Thanks, Russell. So hopefully we'll see you at the Write the Book in a Day session, supporting everybody on. We've got, the live broadcast with the audience. I also think that's going to be great. Really looking forward. And I was planning, when I was thinking about it last year already, I thought you do it once here in Joburg, somewhere between here and Pretoria, and then you go to Durban, and Cape Town possibly. So seeing what that would do, and even maybe, P, who knows? So we'll see. Good stuff. So, let me just see quickly. Rodan says her favorite episode was definitely staying in the helicopter. Yep, it was absolutely amazing. Julie says, thank you and team for an awesome show. Friday mornings won't be the same without the show. Have a good break. See you again in February. Absolutely. Good morning, Carol. Nice to see you. Carol is also going to be part of the Write the Book in a Day a little bit later today. And then Russell says, got to binge watch some episodes in my off time this December. Yeah, Laka, you must do that if you get on a bicycle or a treadmill or something, just put it on there in front of you. I know you do some cardio, I'm pretty sure. So that's it. No, I can't even pronounce that, Russell. So I'll have to come down so that you can teach me what that is. All right, so then just very important for me is the season 3, the guest suggestions, please. If you have any suggestions for guests, even if you put them down in the comments, please, like if there's anybody off the top of your head that you would love to see on the show, put their names in the comments or send a WhatsApp to me, something like that. Then we can, I can make a plan to get in contact with them. And if I don't know them and I haven't had contact and maybe you do, then I'll probably ask you for help. But that'll be absolutely fantastic. And then also your suggestions for, what other things would you like us to talk about on the show, so that we can really look at this. And maybe, even if you want to, like I know a couple of you may want to, it's just, let me know what worked, what didn't work. What do you want to see more of? What don't you want to see anymore? And then we can build around that. All right, then obviously got to do some thank yous, and that's always sort of, I guess, the harder part for me. I think I've got more crying videos on YouTube than I do successful, viral videos, absolutely. But be that as it may, I don't mind. I am who I am. So just some thank yous quickly. The FBI, Lelani, David, Nikki, Seema, Adele, everybody that was on the show and that regularly, prepares for the new segment, get it together, get up early in order to do this. So thank you very much. I really look forward to continuing this relationship with you next year and to see how we make it, sort of going forward. Then Norma, also to you, I did say thank you earlier. Thank you very, very much for all your effort and time and everything. If I look at how Norma has grown from episode 1 in season 2 to where we are now, absolutely amazing. Well done. And then Hendrik Crawford as well. Hendrik did a few of these segments for us on financial coaching. Razan did a few on marketing and branding. Louis van der Merwe also spoke about, I can't remember what the segment's name was, but Louis did a couple. And then obviously every single guest that we interviewed. I mean, we had people, from all over. Really, it was a lot of South Africans this year, but we also had Nick Elston on, so they were quite, there was a couple of international people. Really, really big thank you to each one of them. And then obviously to you. No show, and if we have no audience. So, good stuff. There you go, Michael Kitsis. I've actually contacted Michael and what's the other guy's name? Russell, I can't remember. They do the show together. So I have contacted both of them twice this year. No response, but I will not stop. Somebody else that sort of comes to mind is someone like Liesel van der Westhuizen, so I also want to get her on. But there's quite a few. But Michael and Cole Richards, that's the other guy, is also on the show. And I see Kobus has popped in. Nice. So let me quickly go on. Kobus, let's see, they're all the way from Sun City. Good morning, Kobus. Let's see if the Wi-Fi and the internet holds up.
Just indicate if you can hear me, Francois.
Yeah, I can hear you, Kobus.
Hello, Francois. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. It seems more like Kobus can't hear me.
Because I'm making a plan to be able to talk to you.
No, I appreciate it.
But if you can hear me, I just wanted to say it was a great 22 months. You've made a huge difference to many of us. It's amazing to wake up every morning during the lockdown time and to hear every view, the guest speakers, Norma, Razan, all those people. But it's also amazing to wake up every Friday morning at 7 o'clock and to be able to listen to the guest speakers. It really is motivational. It's inspirational. It makes a huge difference to all of us. And I get goosebumps to think what a difference you've made in many people's lives. And for everyone and everyone listening.
Yeah, cool. I think we lost Kobus right there at the end, but sure, Kobus, thank you so much. That means the world. We also had a quick chat yesterday, and thank you for all of that and the great gesture that you did yesterday. And thanks for being part of this. You were here from day one. I think there was one episode you missed live in the first season, so thank you very much for that. Really appreciate it. And also for the amount of people you connect me with and make suggestions. I think you were one of the most active members of the audience making just, let me introduce you to this one. Do you know this one? And it really helps a lot. And that has helped me build my confidence in doing that and reaching out to people actually. So thank you very much for that. And have a good time at Sun City. Enjoy. Good stuff. All right. Cool beans. Ladies and gentlemen, that's that. As I said, a big thank you to each and every single one of you. Please continue to share the episodes, the show. Tell people. Please help us get the word out there. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. We are 954. We really want you we really want to get to that magical 1,000, hopefully very, very soon. So please, if you haven't yet, please subscribe, like the video, and if you want to stay in the know, join the WhatsApp notification squad if you haven't already, but pretty much sure most of you are on there. But if you're watching the recording and you're not, please join that. You can just go to propulsion.co.za/WhatsApp. All right, then just maybe one thing that I actually forgot about when I spoke about the Write a Book in a Day challenge that's about to happen now is that we're going to have a totalizer. So every hour we will update with how many words we've got. The aim is 36,000 words. So that is what we're aiming towards, and really looking forward to see what happens and what the end product is going to be. So just again, thank you to each and every single one of our authors for their time and for volunteering, because that was a volunteer thing. We advertised, we first made it available to PROpulsion Pro members, then we advertised wider, and we got people who put up their hands and volunteered. So thank you to each and every single one of you. So good stuff. Yeah, thanks, Russell. Creating a community for us to be part of. Yes. And also remember, if you're in a community, you've got to be actively involved. So that's very important. And but thanks for that, Russell. That's a very kind feedback you're giving, so that it does more than I might expect, especially since lockdown and COVID. And if it wasn't for that, I don't know if the show would ever have gotten out. So very, very thankful for that. Carol, thanks. Really appreciate it. Thank you for being a part of this. And awesome stuff. Kobus, all good, man. It was great. So thank you very much. And ladies and gentlemen, with that, I'm going to call it a day for season 2. So let me just make sure I've got everything here. So thank you very much. Have a fantastic one. Go rest, please. Guilt-free, right? Stay away from the news. Don't watch too much of that. And just have a fantastic time with family and friends, whatever our situation may be. I see there's a massive spike in the people testing positive. So please be safe, and thank you. And raise the bar. See you next year. Bye-bye.